Hi everyone. So we are going to discuss about builder design pattern in Java. So what is this builder design pattern? So let me explain with one example. Just consider a scenario. I just want to create an object. I want to I want to create a person, for example, person object with the fields. Fields means what? Also variables. We can say that information instance variables. There are some mandatory fields are there. Mandatory fields, because at the time of object creation you must specify these is a first name, last name, and email consider, and some optional fields are there. Optional fields, it's like a middle name and the mobile number. So normally, so whenever you are creating the object, some of the mandatory fields you need to specify and some of the optional fields you need to specify. But at the time of construction, suppose if the value is not there, for optional fields, you are not giving middle name and you are not giving mobile number. So you need to fill with values null and null, of course. Okay. But see, to how many variables values are there? So sometimes only for these three, sometimes for these four, sometimes these five. Okay. All the corresponding constructors you need to define. Yes or no? Suppose, so what is the problem? What is the problem with a constructor? Constructor means what? It's a overloaded constructor. Overloaded constructor means, so whenever you are defining the class person, so many number of constructors you need to define. Suppose first constructor is person, is taking that first name, is taking that last name, is taking that email. Inside, of course, assigning the values. Next, one more constructor. For example, I want to give middle name also. You need to take this one, string middle name also. Sir, I want to create, here it is with a mobile also, with a mobile. Sometimes with the middle name and mobile also. Here it is if two optional fields are there, so you need to write the two more constructors or three more constructors. Imagine, suppose if there are 10 fields, if there are 20 fields, so the number of constructors are increasing. That overloaded constructors are increasing based on the number of fields. Based on number of fields, the number of constructors also increasing. It is very hard to maintain those many constructors. Next one is, it is very hard to remember the order, in which order we need to pass the values also. Right? So these are the problems. So whenever we are using overloaded constructor, we are using overloaded, too many constructors, hard to maintain. And which constructor to use? Again, confusion. And suppose if you are using the constructor, in which way you are passing the values, in which position that argument is present, problem, right? If more fields are there, need more constructors. So that is. Next, second option is there. So what is that problem with the setters? See, we are thinking that, okay, so then we go with that setters means what? You should make that object is a mutable object. Mutable object means what? Is not thread safe. Not a thread safe. What is that mutable object? We know already. Mutable object means once you create the object, then we allow to modify the object. Allow to modify the object. Setters means what? First, we are creating the object without values. Then we are setting the values using the setters methods. Using setter methods. So that is the problem. How can you create? Just in a general way. Class person. Class person. Of course, we create all the variables. We all create the variables. First name, last name, email, middle name, and mobile. As we know how to define the constructors, na? Like I said, first name is taking that string first name as an input, first name, and is assigning that this dot first name equals to first name. But initially, whenever you are creating object will create with all the default values, like null values. Then if you want to set values, we keep on modifying. So that is only called what? Mutable object. So there is a problem with the overloaded constructor, and there is a problem with the setters also. No, sir, I just want to make the object is immutable object. Once you create the object, you cannot modify the object. That is a thread safe. That is thread safe, and no need of confusing in the process of construction. So that is actually called builder pattern, builder design pattern, builder design pattern. Sir, how can we create that? How can we create? Let me explain how can we create. First one, I'm taking the person. Separately, if you are writing in another class, you just make it public. But within that same program we are writing, I'm just simply explaining in the same place. So I'm not using public, just the package level we are writing. Okay. First, how can we make it immutable? Right? So private, immutable means what? Make it final. String, first name, last name, email, middle name, and mobile we are taking. Final means what? Only one time you are assigning the value. Only one time. See, it is showing that error. The blank final field first name may not have been initialized, because we know already. Final means what? We need to assign the value. Of course, we will assign the value through constructor. But look at this. Constructor is also private constructor here. Constructor is also what? Private constructor. So why? I'll explain. Okay. Here, we need to define one inner class. Inner class means what? Defining the class inside another class. That is inner class. Just a static inner class we are writing. Static means directly you can access using the outer class name. Person.builder, because it's a static. Just like consider as a member, how can you declare how can you access static variable? Class name dot variable name, na? In the same way. In the same way. Okay. So inside all the variables we are declaring again. All the variables we are declaring inside. First of all, we are creating that constructor, builder constructor, with a mandatory field only. Why? Because mandatory fields means what? At the time of object creation, you have to provide the values compulsory. Okay. So what are the values? So one is a first name. Okay. So one is a last name and one is a email. These are mandatory fields. These are mandatory fields. This dot first name equal to first name. This dot last name equals to last name. This dot email equals to email. This dot email equals to email. This one. Here it is why it is. Final fields may not have been initialized. Still are there. So what are that? Only these three are fixed. These three. But these two are not. Optional fields, na? A very, very important. Three fields are final, mandatory fields. But these two fields are not mandatory fields, optional fields. Hope you got the point. Okay. Now, remaining optional fields, we are giving that methods. How can we give methods? Observe this. Public, middle name, that is, or set middle name, you can use it. Set middle name, you can use it. Better, here it is, we are writing set middle name. It is taking that middle name and what it is doing is assigning this dot middle name equal to middle name. After that, it is returning that this. Sir, what is this meaning? This is the method of which class? Builder class. Builder class, it is returning back. Builder. You need to define like this. Mobile also. Public set mobile. String mobile. This dot mobile equals to mobile. It will return this. This means object it is returning. So object means what is a class type? Builder. After setting the value, complete object it is returning back. Complete object it is returning back. Okay. And finally, one method we need to create. So what is that method? Build method we need to create. Build. Sir, what is this build? It will create the object for person class. This is person class constructor. Outer class. Person class constructor. But for this person class, we need to pass input is a builder class input. Builder means, how can we pass builder class? This. You are inside the instance method now. See, this means what? Currently you are in which class? Builder class. So builder class object you are passing as an input to this person. So how can we collect in the person? How can we collect in the person is very, very important. Builder is a builder class object it is taking. Person is taking builder class object as an input. Inside that, this dot first name equal to, already first name is belongs to which one? In builder, first name is there. In builder, this dot last name is equal to builder dot last name. This dot email equals to builder dot email. This dot middle name equal to builder dot middle name. This dot mobile equal to builder dot mobile. Builder dot mobile. See, first we are creating the builder object with the mandatory fields. With the mandatory fields. We are not setting. These are later. Setters later for optional fields. Okay. So this is for mandatory fields. At the time of object creation only, we need to pass. These are for optional fields. For optional fields. So we need to build that. Then it will return that object. It will return that object. Which object it is returning? Person object. So person it is returning. It is returning what? Person. So after that, simply we are writing getters. Because the private variables, na? Private variables. Okay. So just outside for all the variables, private variables we are creating. String get first name. Okay. The return first name like this. Get last name to access from outside. Okay. Returning that last name. Of course, this dot last name also you can provide. Get email. It will return email. Email. All the five. Public string. Get middle name. It will return that middle name. Next one is a get mobile. It will return that mobile. It will return mobile. Now, from the main, so the way we are creating the object, you will get clarity. Okay. First of all, whenever you are creating the person object, there is a strict rule. There is a strict rule. You must create the object. We are creating person object only, but no need to pass all values. We are creating object through builder. Creating object through builder. How can we? New, creating object for person dot. See inside what are there? Builder. How many values we need to pass? Three values we need to pass. Three values like Srinivas. Srinivas. For example, last name we are passing. Last name. And next, Sri@gmail.com. We are taking like this. See, you are creating object to the person class only. But what is happening now? First, you are calling which class constructor? Builder class constructor. Builder. So what is happening? You are passing three values. Got it? Three values. So all the three values, builder object is creating. Builder object. But how it is returning persons are? Okay. Once builder object is ready, on the builder object, you need to call build method. See, this is a very, very important one. Dot, which method? Look at this. Build method you need to call. Whenever you are calling this build method, what is happening? Inside the builder, it is creating object for which class? Person class object with the values of builder. But it has only three values now. Remaining two values are null values. So automatically these three values will set and these two values will set null values. It will return what? Person object. Person P1. Person P1. Sir, details I want to print. So through getter methods you can access. No, sir, all at once I want to access means Better you override toString method that you know already. With null values, it will return, it will print. Sir, only one value. I just want to display a first name. That's it. First name I want to display. Just p1 dot get first name. Get first name. Sir, I just want to display. I just want to display mobile. Mobile. How to call? P1 dot get mobile. Get mobile. Okay. So once you run this, look at the output. First name is a Srinivas and mobile is a null. Because whenever you are creating objects, you are building the object with three mandatory fields. Three mandatory fields. No, I want to give middle name. I want to give mobile also. Look at this, the way we are building. Person dot builder. Person dot builder. Is the same story. Is the same story. So we are passing all the three values. We are passing all the three values. Along with that, sir, I want to give middle name also. Look at this. Set middle name. Set middle name. That is. Okay. Here it is. For example, Srino. For example, here it is. Middle name was. I'm giving like this. Again, sir, I want to set mobile also. Set mobile. Set mobile. That is. Mobile also we are setting. Dot, then we call build. Then we call build because these are optional. See, what will happen? First, you are building the object with the mandatory fields. Okay. So first what will happen? This object will build. Next for that, optional fields are there. No, sir. These two already initialized with null values. No, I want to change it. Then builder object dot, see, set middle name is there. What it will do? It will set the middle name and then it will return that new object. New object. This is an old object and again it will return that object after setting that value. Again, sir, I want to set mobile also. It will set and then it will return that this. It will return here. Finally build. So that we are collecting into person P2. Person P2. Then the same thing after build up, whenever we are printing the details, first name and mobile. Now, if you see the output, that mobile also printing. Mobile also printing. That is. This is what building. This is what building. It's an immutable object. Immutable object. Only setters means what? It will be immutable. So it's not a thread safe. Instead of using constructor overloading and instead of using setter methods, if you want to create the complex objects with multiple fields, right, among all the fields, some of them are mandatory and some of them are optional. Then we need to create that builder class, which is the local class. Local means a class inside the class, like inner class. Using the static inner class, first we create that builder object with the mandatory fields. For optional fields, we are creating the methods, mostly called setter methods. Finally, we build the object and it will return. So we are accessing the data through getter methods. This is builder method, a very, very important design pattern in interview point of view. Please practice.